Hello, Panthers. I'm Laura Tuttle-Lay. I'm one of the counselors at the Perimeter campuses, and I wanted to talk today about helping you come up with a strategy to start the semester strong. You powered through the last semester. We're about to hit Maymester, or whenever you're watching this, maybe it's the beginning of a different semester. But now that you have your motivation, your excitement, and you're thinking more clearly and rationally, we're going to talk through how to create a reminder for yourself, a positive statement or a positive phrase to get you through those moments when you're overwhelmed or maybe not so motivated or feeling like you just can't handle it all. The other thing that we're going to do with this strategy is combine it with some art. We know that writing things down helps us remember them better, and we know that drawing something helps encode it even further into your memory. So we're going to spend some time generating a helpful statement for yourself, writing it down, and maybe adding a drawing to it so that when you really need it, you've got the skills necessary to do well and be well. Today you're going to need something to write or draw with and something to write or draw on. Let's get started. So as we start to think about coming up with a helpful phrase or a helpful word to inspire you to start the semester strong, I really want to encourage you to think about being effective. One of the things that can be unhelpful is trying to be overly positive or overly critical of yourself. So I'm going to start with my word, and as I'm writing it, I'll start talking through what I mean about being effective. I believe I've mentioned in the past, if you've seen any of my other videos, that I do not consider myself an artist. So this is not perfect, but it'll do for me. So what I mean by being effective is if we really challenge ourselves to be perfect all the time, we're setting ourselves up to fail, which is, what perfection is the most afraid of. If you start the semester saying, I'm gonna read every single article, I'm gonna get a 100 on all my assignments, and I'm gonna try really hard this time. It's gonna be perfect. Either you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you can't achieve that unrealistic goal, or you're so overwhelmed by the pressure that you don't even start, which then, you're not going to be successful at being perfect, and you're going to really judge yourself. The other side of that is being overly critical and starting a semester by telling yourself, it's just going to be like last time. You can't go to campus, you can't have a library, of course you're going to fail, why even bother, what's this even for, you're no good at studying, you're no good at studying online, so what's the point? And hoping just to get a D or a C, just enough to pass. That lack of inspiration is also going to hamstring your ability to really try your best. And so instead, we want to really think about being effective. So that's being realistic about your skills, your abilities, about your situation, about how much you can handle, either with your work situation, your school, your internet connection, your focus, and also being realistic with your own personal motivation. It's okay to not be perfect. And also, you're probably not as unskilled as you're trying to tell yourself right now. So the word that I'm choosing to give me motivation for Maymester, or the beginning of the next semester, is balance. Sometimes I work too hard, or everything I do full force, and I don't leave enough time for myself to relax. And so I get tired and grumpy and snippy, and I'd really like to challenge myself this Maymester to put my life into a little bit more balance. So for me, my inspiring message for the beginning of the semester is one word. As I said in our introduction, we remember things better when we write them down, which is why taking notes is so helpful, which is why writing a list, or before you go to the grocery store, being sure to write down what you need makes you more likely to remember. but we remember even more solidly when we draw. So to help me remember that balance is my goal for Maymaster, I'm going to do my best to create a scale. So for you, you might need a phrase to help you chill out some of your perfectionism, like, you know, a mistake is an opportunity to grow. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be my best effort. Um, it's not the end of the world. But if you're a person who is assuming you're gonna screw up like you always do, I'm not saying you will, but that's often a frequent mindset, you might benefit more from a phrase like, I can keep trying, I can stick with it, I can learn new things, I can do hard things. Um, just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. I have no idea what this part of a balance looks like to stabilize it. So, I'm not going to judge myself, and I'm hoping that you can let go of any judgments as well. Because to me, this is going to help me remember to balance work and relaxation, to balance striving for my best and accepting mistakes. And for you, as you think of your message, as you think of your phrase, as you write it and draw it, try to let go of any judgments you have of yourself about how it looks, because it's really a way to remind you of the goals you have and to inspire you as things get a little more challenging as Maymaster continues. I'm satisfied. Thank you for taking some time out to center yourself and inspire yourself for the beginning of the semester. If you're ready to stop, that's great. But once you got started, if you're like, well, that was too short, I need a little more, you can always, just add some decoration, some doodles to your corners, or you can add some extra flair, inside your letters. You can really make it as creative as you want. But for me, this is where I stop. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you can be well so that you can do well. Thank you.